The briefing room fell silent as Colonel Patterson spread the building blueprints across the metal table. Sergeant Martinez leaned forward, studying the five-story downtown office structure while his force reconnaissance team gathered around the intelligence photos scattered between coffee cups and tactical maps. Martinez picked up the thermal imaging shots showing heat signatures throughout the building. 15 to 20 armed hostiles had transformed the corporate headquarters into a fortress, with professional defensive positions covering every approach. The terrorist cell had seized control 6 hours earlier, taking 32 civilians hostage on the third floor while establishing overlapping fields of fire from the upper levels. Corporal Hassan traced the building's perimeter with his finger, noting the sophisticated preparation. Heavy barriers blocked the main entrances, and sniper positions covered the surrounding streets from corner offices with clear sight lines. Lance Corporal Torres examined the weapons cache photos, recognizing military-grade equipment that suggested extensive training and resources far beyond typical criminal organizations. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where the odds seemed impossible, whether in your own community or workplace? The feeling Martinez experienced now matched that pressure when everything depends on making the right decision under extreme circumstances. Patterson's voice cut through the tension as he outlined the mission parameters. Intelligence indicated the hostiles possessed advanced communication systems and had coordinated their assault with military precision. The civilians were being held in the accounting department's open floor plan, making any rescue attempt extremely dangerous due to the exposed positioning and multiple threat angles. Martinez studied his team's faces, seeing the same calculation he was performing. 4 Marines against 20 entrenched fighters in an unknown building layout presented odds that demanded perfect execution. Hassan specialized in urban warfare tactics, Torres brought explosive ordnance expertise, and Williams had completed sniper training, but their combined capabilities faced overwhelming numerical disadvantage. The clock above the briefing table showed 2,147 hours as Martinez made his assessment. Backup units were dispersed across the city responding to coordinated diversionary attacks, leaving his team as the only immediate response capability. The hostiles had chosen their timing perfectly, striking when law enforcement resources were stretched beyond capacity. Martinez folded the blueprints and secured them in his tactical vest. The mission was clear despite the impossible odds. His team would approach the target building under cover of darkness, conduct reconnaissance to identify enemy positions, and execute a rescue operation that standard doctrine deemed suicidal. The alternative was watching 32 innocent people die while waiting for reinforcements that might arrive too late. Hassan checked his radio equipment one final time as the team prepared to move out. Torres verified his breaching charges, while Williams confirmed his designated marksman rifle was properly zeroed. The professional preparation continued despite each Marine understanding they faced a situation where survival depended entirely on executing perfect tactics against superior numbers in unknown terrain. The colonel's final words followed them toward the waiting vehicles. Enemy radio intercepts indicated the hostiles were preparing for an extended siege, having stockpiled ammunition and supplies for prolonged resistance. The terrorists believed their defensive positions were impregnable, having studied law enforcement response patterns and chosen their fortress accordingly. Martinez climbed into the lead vehicle as his team completed their equipment checks. The 15-minute drive to the target building would be their last opportunity to review tactics and prepare mentally for an urban warfare scenario that pushed their training to its absolute limits. The night air carried the distant sound of sirens from across the city, a reminder that help was nowhere near close enough. The thermal imaging display painted a nightmare scenario across Hassan's tablet screen. Heat signatures filled every floor of the office building, showing defensive positions that covered all possible approach routes with overlapping fields of fire. Martinez counted at least 18 distinct signatures, each positioned to maximize coverage while maintaining protective concealment behind reinforced barriers. Hassan zoomed in on the ground-level approaches, identifying 3 sniper positions in corner offices with clear sightlines down every street. The positioning showed professional military knowledge, creating kill zones that would trap any assault force in exposed areas without cover or concealment. Torres studied the defensive layout, recognizing tactical principles taught in advanced urban warfare schools rather than improvised criminal positioning. The radio crackled with intercepted enemy communications as Williams adjusted the frequency scanner. Their coordination used military terminology and precise timing, confirming these weren't desperate criminals but trained operators executing a carefully planned siege. The voice traffic revealed ammunition counts, sector assignments, and contingency plans that demonstrated extensive preparation and professional discipline. Martinez observed the building through his scope, noting movement patterns that followed standard military procedures for defensive operations. Guards rotated positions at regular intervals, maintaining constant observation while preventing predictable routines that could be exploited. The window barriers had been constructed using furniture and equipment arranged to provide maximum protection while preserving firing angles. A figure moved across the adjacent building's rooftop, briefly visible before disappearing behind ventilation equipment. Hassan dismissed it as civilian evacuation, focusing instead on the immediate tactical challenges facing their assault plan. The unknown person's presence seemed insignificant compared to the overwhelming defensive preparations visible throughout their primary target. Torres approached the main entrance, immediately detecting sophisticated trip wires connected to improvised explosive devices. The placement showed advanced knowledge of breaching techniques, positioning the charges to maximize casualties among any assault force attempting standard entry procedures. He backed away carefully, recognizing the entrance had been deliberately trapped using professional demolition expertise. The first breach attempt confirmed their worst fears as Torres discovered additional explosive devices layered behind the initial traps. Each barrier had been designed to channel attackers into predetermined kill zones where concentrated fire would eliminate any survivors. Martinez realized they faced opposition that understood exactly how Marines would approach this tactical problem. Hassan intercepted more enemy radio traffic, revealing the full scope of their preparation. The terrorists had studied law enforcement response patterns, timing their assault to coincide with citywide diversionary attacks that scattered available backup units. Their defensive positions had been selected specifically to counter Marine Corps urban warfare doctrine, showing intimate knowledge of their likely tactics. Martinez pressed his radio transmit button, his voice tight, with controlled frustration. Command needed to understand the situation had escalated far beyond their current capabilities. These weren't ordinary criminals hiding in a building, but professional soldiers executing a sophisticated siege operation with military precision and overwhelming numerical advantage. The thermal display updated as Hassan adjusted the scanning parameters, revealing additional heat signatures in concealed positions throughout the structure. 22 confirmed hostiles now appeared on screen, each positioned to maximize defensive effectiveness while maintaining communication with Central Command. The enemy had transformed a civilian office building into an impregnable fortress using advanced tactical knowledge. Williams observed enemy movement through his scope, noting the disciplined rotation schedules and coordinated sector coverage. Their weapons handling showed extensive training, with each position covering specific zones while maintaining overlapping fire support. The professional competence displayed by the opposition exceeded anything his team had encountered in urban environments. Martinez calculated their tactical options while studying the building's defensive preparations. Standard assault procedures would result in catastrophic casualties due to the sophisticated trap placement and overlapping fields of fire. The enemy had anticipated Marine Corps tactics and prepared countermeasures that neutralized their training advantages through superior positioning and numerical superiority. The radio scanner captured detailed enemy communications discussing ammunition distribution and defensive improvements. Their preparation included backup positions, predetermined fallback routes, and contingency plans for extended siege operations. Martinez realized his team faced opponents who understood urban warfare at least as well as his own Marines, but with overwhelming advantages in numbers, positioning, and preparation time. The service and trance lock yielded to advanced picking techniques as an unknown figure slipped through the building's rear access point. While Martinez's team prepared for their dangerous frontal assault, someone else had already begun systematic infiltration using methods that bypassed every defensive measure the terrorists had carefully positioned throughout the structure. Suppressed gunfire echoed from the upper floors, brief controlled bursts that Martinez assumed indicated enemy repositioning or equipment testing. The sounds carried a professional quality that suggested military-grade weapons and training, confirming his assessment that they faced experienced operators rather than desperate criminals seeking attention through violence. Hassan monitored the radio frequencies, noting subtle changes in enemy communication patterns. The clear, coordinated chatter from the fifth floor had become sporadic and confused, with attempted communications going unanswered despite multiple transmission attempts. He attributed the degraded communications to equipment failure or operational stress rather than external intervention. The unknown figure moved through the fifth floor with practiced efficiency, neutralizing 3 guard positions using close-quarters combat techniques that left no opportunity for alarm or resistance. Each engagement followed specialized protocols designed for silent elimination, clearing entire sections without alerting nearby positions or triggering defensive responses. Torres positioned his breaching charges against the reinforced main entrance while the systematic clearance proceeded directly above their heads. The explosive placement required precise calculation to penetrate the barriers without bringing down structural elements that could trap civilians or create additional tactical complications during their assault. Fourth-floor radio traffic ceased entirely as the figure eliminated 6 more defensive positions through methodical room-to-room advancement. The tactical movement followed patterns taught in the most advanced urban warfare schools, demonstrating capabilities that exceeded standard military training through specialized experience and exceptional skill development. Martinez observed the building through his scope, noting decreased activity in several upper-floor windows that had previously shown consistent movement and positioning. He interpreted the reduced visibility as defensive improvement rather than systematic elimination, assuming the enemy was adapting their tactics to counter his team's reconnaissance efforts. Hassan intercepted increasingly frantic radio transmissions as enemy commanders attempted to re-establish communication with their missing upper-floor teams. The confusion in their voices suggested equipment malfunction rather than tactical disaster, maintaining their confidence in defensive preparations while remaining unaware of the systematic threat elimination occurring throughout their fortress. The third floor presented more complex challenges as the unknown figure encountered hostage positions mixed with enemy defensive emplacements. Advanced tactical training enabled precise discrimination between threats and civilians, allowing continued advancement without compromising the safety of innocent people trapped throughout the accounting department's open floor plan. Williams prepared his designated marksman rifle for overwatch as suppressed weapons fire continued from inside the building. The professional quality of the gunfire suggested enemy training exercises or equipment maintenance rather than actual combat, maintaining his focus on potential sniper positions that could threaten their planned assault route. Enemy radio communications deteriorated further as commanders realized their defensive network was collapsing without explanation. Panic crept into voices that had previously maintained military discipline, but their confusion prevented effective response since they couldn't identify the source of their systematic losses or develop countermeasures against unknown tactics. The unknown figure reached the second floor, having secured all hostages on the third level through precise tactical movement that eliminated guards without alerting nearby positions. Specialized equipment enabled silent breaching of locked doors while advanced combat training neutralized multiple threats simultaneously through coordinated engagement techniques. Martinez noticed significant reduction in defensive fire from upper-floor positions that had previously maintained constant coverage of their approach routes. The decreased opposition seemed like tactical redeployment rather than elimination, encouraging him to believe their assault plan might succeed despite the overwhelming numerical disadvantage his team faced. Hassan's radio scanner captured desperate enemy attempts to coordinate defensive response, but their communications had become fragmented and ineffective. The systematic loss of contact with defensive positions created confusion that prevented organized resistance, while unknown tactical capabilities continued dismantling their carefully prepared fortress from within the structure itself. The service elevator descended silently as 32 hostages were evacuated through the building's rear exit, guided by someone who had systematically secured each floor while Martinez's team maintained their perimeter positions. The rescue operation proceeded with professional efficiency that exceeded anything the Marines had witnessed during their specialized training exercises. Hassan's radio scanner captured panicked enemy transmissions that shattered his previous assumptions about the tactical situation. Enemy voices screamed about unknown assault forces taking control of the entire building, describing systematic elimination of defensive positions by operators using techniques that surpassed their own considerable combat training and preparation. The second-floor clearance proceeded with mechanical precision as the unknown figure eliminated the remaining 6 defensive positions through coordinated tactical strikes. Each engagement followed advanced urban warfare protocols that demonstrated mastery of close-quarters combat far beyond standard military training, neutralizing threats without alerting nearby positions until the entire floor fell silent. Martinez watched through his scope as the final enemy fighter fled through a third-floor window, abandoning weapons and equipment in desperate panic. The professional soldier who had maintained disciplined radio communications and defensive positioning now ran like a terrified civilian, confirming that something extraordinary had occurred inside the fortress they had deemed impregnable. Torres lowered his breaching charges as Hassan intercepted the last enemy radio transmission, declaring complete tactical collapse and immediate evacuation. The voice belonged to someone who had coordinated sophisticated defensive operations just minutes earlier, now reduced to incoherent panic about ghost operators eliminating his entire force through impossible tactical capabilities. The building's front entrance swung open as Martinez received his radio update, confirming backup units remained 15 minutes away. His team had prepared for a suicide mission against overwhelming odds, only to watch their target transform into a secured structure without their participation. Someone had accomplished in 30 minutes what his team considered tactically impossible. Hassan approached the entrance cautiously, weapon ready despite the obvious security of the building. The interior revealed evidence of systematic tactical operations conducted with surgical precision, eliminating threats while preserving hostage safety and maintaining structural integrity. Professional competence of this caliber exceeded anything documented in their tactical manuals. The operator emerged from the central stairwell, removing tactical equipment that revealed advanced capabilities far beyond standard Marine Corps issue. Staff Sergeant Elena Vasquez displayed no signs of stress or fatigue despite having single-handedly cleared a 5-story building defended by 22 professional soldiers using sophisticated weapons and defensive preparations. Martinez recognized the force reconnaissance insignia on Vasquez's uniform, understanding immediately that her specialized training explained capabilities that seemed impossible for individual operators. Her tactical vest carried equipment configurations he had only seen in classified briefings about elite units whose existence was barely acknowledged within military circles. Williams confirmed all enemy positions had been neutralized through precise tactical engagement that demonstrated exceptional marksmanship and close-quarters combat skills. Each eliminated threat showed evidence of professional technique executed flawlessly under extreme pressure, proving capabilities that exceeded normal special operations training standards through specialized experience and expertise. Vasquez explained her presence through operational necessity rather than planned coordination, having been conducting independent reconnaissance when Martinez's team arrived. Her decision to intervene reflected tactical judgment that recognized civilian lives took priority over operational protocols or jurisdictional boundaries between military units conducting separate missions. The hostage evacuation had been completed through systematic coordination that ensured every civilian reached safety without injury or psychological trauma. Vasquez had maintained professional calm throughout the rescue operation, demonstrating leadership capabilities that transformed chaos into controlled tactical success through individual excellence and specialized training. Martinez surveyed the building interior, recognizing tactical expertise that surpassed anything he had encountered during his special operations career. The systematic clearance had been executed with precision that eliminated every threat while preserving evidence and maintaining structural integrity, proving capabilities that belonged in military legend rather than operational reality. Hassan documented the tactical lessons evident throughout the building, understanding that Vasquez's performance represented individual excellence that would influence Marine Corps urban warfare doctrine for years. Her systematic approach had transformed an impossible tactical situation into textbook clearance through specialized skills developed beyond normal military training parameters. Vasquez removed her tactical helmet as Martinez studied her equipment configuration, recognizing specialized gear that exceeded standard force reconnaissance issue. Her reconnaissance mission had placed her in perfect position to observe the Marine operation, leading to tactical intervention when civilian lives faced immediate threat from the terrorist siege that had paralyzed law enforcement response capabilities across the city. Martinez discovered her service record included Marine Scout Sniper School graduation with honors, followed by military operations and urban terrain certification at the advanced instructor level. The specialized training explained capabilities that had seemed impossible for individual operators, demonstrating how elite military education created tactical advantages that multiplied individual effectiveness beyond normal operational parameters. The team learned Vasquez had completed 3 combat deployments in Fallujah with Force Reconnaissance Battalion, participating in operations that developed the urban warfare doctrine Martinez's team had studied during their own specialized training. Her experience included house-to-house fighting that tested every tactical principle under combat conditions where mistakes resulted in immediate casualties. Hassan reviewed the building layout against Vasquez's systematic clearance route, recognizing tactical movement that required intimate knowledge of urban warfare principles most Marines never encountered outside advanced training schools. Her approach had eliminated every defensive position through precise sequence planning that anticipated enemy responses while maintaining hostage safety throughout the complex operation. Vasquez demonstrated her specialized equipment, including custom breaching tools designed for silent entry operations and suppressed weapons systems optimized for close-quarters engagement. The gear configuration reflected individual modifications developed through combat experience, adapting standard military equipment to enhance tactical capabilities through lessons learned during actual urban warfare operations. Local law enforcement vehicles surrounded the building as Vasquez completed her equipment inventory, revealing the operation's complete success with 0 casualties among hostages or responding personnel. The terrorist cell that had threatened to execute civilians while holding off law enforcement for hours had been neutralized through individual tactical excellence that transformed impossible odds into textbook mission completion. Martinez observed police commanders recognizing Vasquez's tactical competence, deferring to her expertise when processing the complex crime scene that required specialized knowledge to interpret properly. Her systematic approach had preserved evidence while eliminating threats, demonstrating professional capabilities that civilian law enforcement acknowledged but could not replicate through their own training programs. Marine Corps vehicles approached the building earlier than scheduled as command tracked the operation through GPS monitoring and tactical communications that revealed unprecedented mission success. Colonel Williams emerged from the lead vehicle, his expression showing immediate recognition of tactical excellence that exceeded normal operational expectations even for elite military units. Hassan documented the tactical principles evident throughout Vasquez's clearance operation, understanding that her performance represented case study material for future Marine Corps urban warfare training programs. The systematic elimination of 22 professional threats while securing 32 hostages demonstrated individual capabilities that would influence military doctrine development for years. Williams approached Vasquez with formal recognition that indicated previous professional relationship rather than introduction. Martinez realized the colonel's immediate respect reflected awareness of combat achievements that exceeded anything documented in standard service records, suggesting classified operations that demonstrated exceptional individual capability under extreme combat conditions. Vasquez accepted Williams's acknowledgement with professional modesty that indicated extensive experience receiving recognition for tactical excellence. Her calm demeanor throughout the building clearance operation had extended to post-mission interaction, demonstrating leadership characteristics that enabled exceptional performance under pressure while maintaining perspective necessary for continued operational effectiveness. The colonel explained Vasquez's classified record included receipt of the Navy Cross for single-handed compound clearance in Afghanistan, where she had eliminated an entire enemy cell while rescuing captured Marines during a mission that became legendary within Special Operations circles. Her current operation represented typical performance rather than exceptional achievement, proving capabilities consistently demonstrated throughout her military career. Martinez recognized the profound tactical education his team had witnessed, understanding that Vasquez's performance provided lessons that could enhance their own operational effectiveness. Her willingness to share specialized techniques reflected professional commitment to advancing Marine Corps capabilities through knowledge transfer that multiplied individual excellence across unit structures. Colonel Williams opened Vasquez's classified service folder as Marine Corps leadership gathered to analyze the tactical implications of her building clearance operation. Her record documented multiple solo operations behind enemy lines where individual excellence had accomplished missions previously considered impossible without full unit support, establishing her reputation within special operations circles as someone capable of achieving legendary results. Martinez submitted his formal request for Vasquez's permanent assignment to his force reconnaissance team, recognizing that her specialized capabilities would multiply their operational effectiveness exponentially. The integration of individual excellence with team coordination promised tactical advantages that could transform their unit into the Marine Corps' most capable urban warfare specialists through knowledge transfer and shared experience. Hassan compiled detailed tactical documentation for the Marine Corps Urban Warfare Training Manual, analyzing each phase of Vasquez's systematic building clearance to extract principles that could enhance future operations. Her performance demonstrated techniques that exceeded standard doctrine, providing lessons that would influence military training programs for years while establishing new benchmarks for individual tactical excellence. Vasquez accepted the team integration proposal while maintaining her specialized reconnaissance capabilities that had enabled independent operation success. Her willingness to share advanced techniques reflected professional commitment to multiplying individual excellence across Marine Corps units, understanding that knowledge transfer created force multiplication effects that enhanced overall military capability through education and training development. The joint training exercise schedule combined Vasquez's individual tactical skills with Martinez's team coordination expertise, creating comprehensive urban warfare programs that addressed both solo operations and unit tactics. The integration promised to produce Marines capable of operating effectively across operational spectrum, from independent reconnaissance to coordinated assault missions requiring diverse skill sets. Marine Corps leadership recognized the building clearance operation as a model for future urban warfare doctrine development that would influence training programs throughout military special operations community. Vasquez's systematic approach provided concrete examples of advanced tactical principles applied under combat conditions, demonstrating capabilities that could be taught through proper instruction and specialized training programs. The training facility buzzed with anticipation as Vasquez prepared to conduct her first advanced close-quarters combat instruction session. Marines from across the Corps had requested assignment to her specialized program, understanding that access to her tactical expertise represented career-defining educational opportunities that could enhance their operational effectiveness throughout their military service. Martinez observed the profound impact Vasquez's presence had created within Marine Corps training culture, recognizing that legendary performance inspired excellence that multiplied across unit boundaries. Her willingness to teach advanced techniques ensured that exceptional individual capabilities would enhance collective military effectiveness through systematic knowledge transfer and professional development programs. The specialized training program attracted attention from throughout special operations community as military leaders recognized the value of systematic instruction in advanced urban warfare techniques. Vasquez's teaching methodology translated combat-proven individual excellence into educational programs that could develop similar capabilities among carefully selected Marines through intensive specialized training. Have you ever witnessed someone whose skills and dedication inspired you to push beyond what you thought possible in your own work or personal challenges? The way Vasquez transformed impossible tactical situations through individual excellence demonstrates how exceptional performance can create lasting impact that extends far beyond immediate circumstances. Training exercises demonstrated the effectiveness of combining Vasquez's individual expertise with traditional team coordination tactics, creating hybrid approaches that enhanced operational capabilities while maintaining the disciplined unit cohesion that characterized Marine Corps excellence. Her integration represented evolution rather than revolution, improving proven methods through advanced individual techniques. The facility's main training area showcased Vasquez leading combined instruction sessions with Martinez serving as co-instructor, their partnership demonstrating how exceptional individual capabilities could enhance team effectiveness through cooperative knowledge transfer. The program attracted the Marine Corps' most promising urban warfare specialists seeking advanced tactical education. Years later, Marines throughout the Corps would reference the building clearance operation as an example of individual excellence transforming impossible tactical situations through specialized training and exceptional competence. Vasquez's performance had entered military folklore, while her teaching continued developing similar capabilities among new generations of Marines. The final training session concluded with Vasquez addressing newly graduated Marines about the importance of continuous professional development and tactical innovation. Her legacy extended beyond individual achievement to encompass systematic improvement of Marine Corps urban warfare capabilities through education programs that multiplied exceptional performance across unit structures, ensuring that legendary individual excellence enhanced collective military effectiveness for decades.